It's hard for me to say I'm sorry, I just can't let you go. We've been memes and midnight dreams in common thread, a rodeo. From shaky cams to live stream jams, we laughed until we cried. So how'd we go from LOL forever to fine? I'll say goodbye. We built a vibe in pixels, yeah, a patchwork kinda home, where typos turned to punchlines and no one laughed alone. You say it's time to log off, pack it up, move on. But wait, your seat's still warm, your theme song's still on. Don't go, slow your roll, hear the rhythm in your chest. No shade thrown, no stones, known this place still knows you best. Don't go, hit pause, not exit, stay a minute more. Drop anchor in the chaos, we've got laughter to restore. No need to take offense where none was ever given. Stay the course, we're all just trying to make a little living. Don't go, don't vanish in the scroll. We're better when you're in it, yeah, you're part of this whole. After all the bits and glitches, the filters and the flops, you taught us how to dance through every algorithm drop. Now you're drafting up a farewell like it's carved in stone. But darling, this ain't Shakespeare, no need for a monologue tone. Social media's a circus with a megaphone and fog. 244 character, that's barely a thought log. Context gets compressed till it's thinner than a thread. Then boom, misread, misfed, and suddenly we dread. No need to take umbrage, no need for a disguise. We can trade the hot takes for a little compromise. Don't go, hit pause, not exit, stay a minute more. Send a note, a real one, we can open up the door. No need for safe spaces when we're safe in how we listen. We can turn the volume down and still keep the music listen. Don't go, don't fold, don't pack up your control. We're better when you're in it, yeah, you're part of this whole. No dramatic exit music, no confetti for the leave. No need to post a curtain call like this is me, I grieve. Just pull up a chair, grab a snack, stay weird, stay bright. We'll debug the drama, keep the good and code it right. We've got room for messy, for the oops and my bad, for the spicy little takes that don't have to end mad. You're not just a username drifting out in the blue. You're the laugh in the lag and we're not done with you. Don't go, hit pause, not exit. Hear the crowd in your name. We're a patchwork of the imperfect, that's the heart of the game. No need to take offense where none was ever given. We're all just learning out loud, figuring out this living. Don't go, stay close, let the moment take its toll. We're better when you're in it, yeah, you're part of this whole. So don't go just yet, let the thread breathe, no regrets. Stay a while, enjoy the show. We're still better with you here, you know.
Once we sailed the 7 seas in the Iranian Navy, with a swagger in the breeze. In the Iranian Navy, we could do as we pleased, hearts full of pride and bravado. Once we arrogantly threatened every nation on the breeze. In the Iranian Navy, oh, raise up your glass and sing it loud and wavy, for the bold and brave sight of our Iranian Navy. From the Gulf to the foam of the Western Sea, we were masters of the tide and the spray. But the wind has turned and the cannon's gone silent. Who now will answer our plea? Once we ruled the raging foam, now we've no fleet to call our own. In the to the wind wind with our beards so well trimmed in the Iranian Navy. Steel beneath our boots and salt upon our skin in the Iranian Navy. Our friends invited us to Cape Town, proud and free and bold. Sailors on shore leave at Simonstown, stories bought and sold. Naval exercises with our friends from Moscow and Beijing. We already missed the brief fling. Our presence made Arab nations tremble. Our blockade made oil prices treble. All together, the bold, brave, mighty sight of our Iranian Navy. Oh, raise up your glass and sing it loud and wavy for the roar and roll of the Iranian Navy. From the Straits to the storm-lashed quay, we were thunder on the sea. But the dice were cast and the wager played, and pride went down with the fleet. Now we sing in taverns dim and cold of stories grand and growing old. Then the Iranian Navy. Our supreme leaders played chicken with the dawn. Now all our ships are gone, rusting at the bottom of the sea. With whom shall we plea? In the Iranian Navy, mighty no longer sailing a lost dream. We see our song of lament and anger scream. Twisted hoax, a metal lie, billowing flames of despair. And a mighty Iranian Navy is no more, just smoke upon the air. We want to surrender, we have no future. We can't even get a dinghy in the water. No harbor light, no guiding star, no compass left to steer us far. So raise up your glass and sing it loud and wavy for the ghosts of the Iranian Navy. Though the fleet lies cold beneath the foam, we'll drink to the days we ruled the brine. For once we sailed the seven seas and did as we pleased in the Iranian Navy. Once we sailed the seven seas. Ha! Once we sailed the seven seas. Iranian navies.
Marvin Divine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to the program. Chris live in central Pennsylvania for the Sunday edition of Chris Wyatt Reports. Hang on a second. Pennsylvania for the Sunday. Ooh, that's loud. I had that loud for the Iranian Navy. Once we sailed the seven seas, we tacked into the wind with our beards so neat and trim in the Iranian Navy, which exists no more. Ladies and gentlemen, bad news coming out of Islamabad, where the Iranians have not negotiated in good faith. Get ready for fire and brimstone. The Trumpster will once again begin launching missiles and rockets at the Iranians pretty soon, most likely. Not a prediction, just and expectation. Welcome back to the program. Lots of people are in the chat, so I can't greet everyone, so welcome to all of you. We got a lot to talk about here. The Democrat Alliance had its federal conference and elected a new leader, Geordin Hill-Lewis, the woke mayor of Cape Town. We're going to talk a little bit about his 4-point plan and about the news. And lots to talk about. Orban is facing a very tough election challenge today, trailing in the polls. And will Viktor Orban's 16-year rule of Hungary come to an end? We shall see. The media is already portraying it as, ally yourself with Trump and lose. Really? Ally yourself with Trump? The guy survived Trump. The guy's here after Trump, and he's back again. All right. Strait of Hormuz we'll talk about as well. Trump is going to shut down the Strait. The Iranians think they can shut it down. Well, Trump is going to make it happen himself. Let's get to the news. Thanks for being here. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done it already, folks. It never hurts to hit that button. All right. There we go. Geordin Hill-Lewis elected new leader of the Democratic Alliance. I saw the sycophantic cloud clapping and the train seal behavior of the federal caucus Congress as all these people hailed him like he's some sort of celebrity. Cape Town Mayor Geordin Hill-Lewis has been elected as a leader of the Democratic Alliance, replacing Minister of Agriculture John Steenhuisen. By the way, that's the white Minister of Agriculture, in case you missed that. The vote concluded at the DA's Federal Congress today, hands Hill-Lewis the reins of the second largest party in South Africa and the second largest party in the government national unity. They hold 6 ministerial and 6 deputy ministerial positions, giving the party meaningful influence. According to this journalist, they don't have any meaningful influence over the government and national unity. That's utter bullshit. Steenhuisen will remain in cabinet as agriculture minister until he gets fired, was instrumental in negotiating the DA's entry to GNU. That's a lie. It was Tony Leon and Helen Zilla. Once again, who's writing this tripe? Tando Mako. We were telling you that, Tando. You don't know what you're talking about. That's not true. Anyway, so Saleh Msaminga was elected as well. Cilliers Brake got a position as the second deputy chairman of the federal executive. Interesting there. Interesting to see there. Saleh Msaminga got a position there too. So, yeah. Anyway, there you go. So that's what's happened. Geordin Hill-Lewis has a 4-point plan for his tenure as the DA's federal leader. The tenure age of 39. He said, we must connect with the millions of people who have not yet voted for us. Well, that's a fair statement. Victoria Regan with this story in the Daily Maverick. The 39-year-old was widely tipped to win the party's top job after outgoing DA leader John Steenhuisen announced he would not seek re-election. He won over 90% of the vote to beat rival Sibusiso Donyanaase, the DA's caucus leader in the Sabang district in Gauteng. Hill-Lewis said he accepted the responsibility of federally with humility, gratitude, and a deep sense of duty. Stand before his newly elected leader with one promise. However long I have the privilege of serving the job, I'll be dedicated to the mission of building a strong South Africa for everyone, because South Africa is truly worth it. Well, I don't disagree. However, Geordin Hill-Lewis has the following 4 points. That is his plan as leader for the DA. He says that he'll continue to show that DA governs well for everyone in South Africa. Unfortunately, that's not a true statement. It does govern well in pockets of excellence, but not for everyone in South Africa and not everywhere. He says they'll connect more deeply with non-DA voters. That's a good aspirational goal, but it's not a plan. It said being a strong and principled partner in the national coalition. What is a strong and principled partner? That's gobbledygook. And leading with belief in South Africa. So hope and a prayer. Hope and a prayer. Hope and a prayer. Well, Ben Skev just gave a 35 Rand super chat. I haven't seen Ben in a long time. What's going on with Ben there? Hang on a second. Where is the lurk box? There we go. Please accept my offering. Always silly. All right, back to these points. This is not a plan, folks. These are goals. These are goals. This is not a plan of execution. There's no plan here. There's no funds allocated. There's no personnel. There's no concrete steps of action being taken. This is just aspirational. I'm not trying to poo-poo it. They're all good aspirations to show the DA is governing well where it governs. That's a good aspiration. Reach out to more DA non-voters. That's a good idea. Being a strong and principled partner in the government national unity. I don't understand the purpose of that. How does that work? And leading with belief in South Africa. Leading with belief in South Africa. Okay, why is my software doing this again? Now, once again, it's I've already turned this off 4 times. It's now giving me these Facebook notifications. I said don't do that. That is very annoying. See if I can remember how to stop that because it's going to come up all the time. No, I can't. I remember how to do this thing. Give me crickets. Very annoying that it does this. Very annoying that it does this. No, that's not right. Anyway, I don't know how to do this right now. It's no time. No time for this right now. All these settings in here. Stream. I didn't ask for this crap. Anyway. All right. Cool. All right. So those are aspirational things. They're not plan. It's not a plan. I'm sorry. It's not a plan. It's aspirational. And good luck to Jordan Hill-Lewis. I wish him well with his woke agenda. I'm sure that we can ensure that gay pride parades happen everywhere. We'll make sure that happens. That's important. Obviously, critically important. Not feeding people, not getting the government accountable. We'll make sure we have gay pride parades, and we'll make sure we talk to all the woke leftists in Europe. But anyway, yes, ANC is also on the march. ANC is going after South African Communist Party members. Yeah, they're not happy. Yeah, surprise, surprise. The ANC is not happy. Shocker there. Why would they be happy? They're failing. Final split in century-old partnerships looms after ANC decides to invoke constitutional clause barring electoral support for a rival party. ANC resolves those who vote for South African Communist Party are out of the ANC. Wow. ANC's century-long partnership with the communists could be on the brink of collapse after Ramaphosa's party decided to invoke its rule barring members from supporting a party that fights in an election, as the South African Communist Party plans to do in the upcoming local government elections. Wow. So if they choose the Communist Party, then that means they're in conflict with the ANC. They can't campaign for the Communist Party and be within the ANC. That's what the decision means. If they campaign for the Communist Party, while we expect them to campaign for us, then we'll take them to the disciplinary hearing. Well, given that there's only about 50,000 members of the South African Communist Party, not a big impact. Not a big impact. But the tripartite alliance is gone. It's broken, unless there's a quick mend to this. At the DA Congress, we see a DA youth leader shoots down the anti-government and national unity grumblings. Really, like we care about what the DA youth leader has to say. The DA is a major part of the government and national unity. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Does the DA control finance, intelligence, justice, foreign affairs, vice president's office? Nothing. Not even health. They have no consequential ministries other than Home Affairs, which is broken. And Leon Schreiber is trying to fix it, but he's busy violating the Vienna Conventions, raiding U.S. diplomatic sites. So, no, the DA, I'm sorry, the DA is not a major part of the government national unity. John Steenhuisen's emotional farewell from the Democratic Alliance. John Steenhuisen's emotional farewell. Outgoing leader reflects on rebuilding the DA and its entry into national government. With tears welling up in his eyes, DA leader John Steenhuisen delivered his final address to the party's federal Congress this Saturday, closing his tenure at the helm of the party after confirming earlier this year that he would not seek re-election. Steenhuisen reflected on the state of the DA when he assumed leadership in 2019, stating that it was on its knees, polling at 16% and facing internal division. He said the party has since stabilized, rebuilt the structure, and returned to electoral growth, with support now approaching 30%. He added that members had refused to accept decline as our destiny. Here's the problem with that. These are poll numbers. They're not election results. Election results tell a very different story. John Steenhuisen, as the interim leader, inherited a DA that had received over 20% of the vote under Musi Maimane, and more importantly, received 3.6 million plus voters. John Steenhuisen in the 2024 national elections took his party to electoral defeat with virtually no change and a loss of over 100,000 voters to just 3.5 million. Yet he chooses to mislead and distract you by telling you a fairy tale that the DA went from 16 to 30%. It's utter poppycock. That is simply untrue. Not to mention the disaster that befell the Democratic Alliance in the municipal elections of 2021 when they lost control of municipality after municipality after municipality. And their huge lead in Cape Town shrank to just 7 points at 57% of the vote. They're losing colored voters left and right, which is the largest group ethnically of their party. Colors make up the largest percentage of the Democratic Alliance, although it's called a white party. They're second largest, then blacks. But coloreds are the largest, and they're defecting in large numbers to the Patriotic Alliance, some even to the Freedom Front Plus. Yet we're going to sit here and lie about it. Just tell the truth. If the DA could just tell the truth for once, it'd be nice. It'd really be nice. A lot of us have, at least in spirit, supported the Democratic Alliance over the years. And what was once a great surging opposition movement under Helen Zille in 2014 is a poor shadow of what it once was, despite the lies. The DA talking about how great they were in the election. I made those videos in the municipal elections, how they lost a huge percentage of the vote, and they still mislead people. They are whistling past the cemetery. This is a party in decline as well. Maybe Jordan Hill-Lewis can restore the luster, but with John Steenhuisen and his white minister role as the Mr. Foot and Mouth disease, the party has collapsed. Its structures are collapsing despite the lies that they're telling us. It is a party on the wane, just like the EFF and the ANC. Its decline is not as bad as the ANC or the EFF's, but its decline is real. South Africa, speaking of declining, is slipping in foreign investment ranking as mining slump dents appeal. South Africa has fallen back in ranking among emerging economies on attractiveness to investors, partly due to downturn in mining output. They slipped 5 places to 12 among 25 countries in the emerging market component 2026 edition of the Foreign Direct Investment Confidence Index. Well, that's not good. Mining output fell 2.7% year on year. Wow. South Africa's highest score is 36% for its natural resources. Its tech innovation mustered just 19%. Respondents gave the country 22% each for ease of doing business. It scored 23% on its talent and skill of its labor pool. Wow. 19% for its technical innovation. This is a country that's sliding backwards. We see videos, and I saw a post again on Twitter today, on X, someone posting the video a few years ago when Ramaphosa went to a rural village with black South Africans, and they were cutting the ribbon on opening a water tap. Like they've been introduced to the 14th century finally. A former Springbok has been sued for 9 million rand after an alleged assault. The dispute began with WhatsApp exchanges where neighbor Vivian John de la Hunt made sexual remarks about Naka Droska's wife. The 56-year-old locksmith alleges he suffered a broken nose and finger and joint, shoulder injuries, neck and back problems, plus post-traumatic stress. De la Hunt is seeking 1.8 million for medical expenses, more than 5 million for lost income until retirement, and 2 million for pain and suffering. A dispute that began with alleged vulgar remarks about Naka Droska's wife is now escalating to 9 million rand damages claim. Droska's neighbor in Bloemfontein is claiming this amount from the former Springbok hooker and his friend after a savage Saturday night fistfight in September 2024. Droska and his friend Lionel Palmer were arrested the Sunday after the brawl outside his home in Pentagon Park, kept behind bars until they were released to their own recognizance on the Tuesday. Wow. According to the report, De La Hunt sent Droska a message on Saturday afternoon that read, "Please tell people who are shooting the dogs with the BB gun to stop it or we're going to the police." Droska then sent angry messages and denied his children had any such toy. Early in the evening, De La Hunt called Droska a womanizer in a message. Womanizer. And Droska responded, "Fortunately, your girl is not my type." After that, De La Hunt promised to give Droska's wife a good time, to which Droska said, "She's sitting next to me. She's laughing at you." Looking forward to climbing between her legs again, De La Hunt shot back. At 8:30, Droska and Palmer allegedly went to De La Hunt to teach him a lesson. Springbok hooker Naka Droska. Wow. Well, just don't talk to your neighbors. Prince Harry is being sued by a charity he set up in Africa in his mother's name. Here is the loser boy himself, Mr. Gingerbald himself. Yes, a charity co-founded by Prince Harry in Africa to honor his late mother, Princess Diana, has sued him for defamation after he stepped down as a patron last year. Sentabale, which supports young people living with HIV in Botswana and Lesotho, filed suit last month in London's High Court. On filing show, Harry and his friend Mark Dreyer, a trustee, after being sued for either libel or slander, no documents were available. Sentabale's problems played out in the public eye, enabling a damaging dispute to harm the charity's reputation, risk overshadowing its many achievements and jeopardizing the charity's ability to deliver for the very beneficiaries it was created to serve, said Commission CEO David Holdsworth in a statement in August of last year. The Charity Commission of England and Wales investigated and criticized both sides for allowing the issue to be played out in public and damaging the organization's reputation, but found no evidence of widespread bullying or misogyny at Sentabale. Well, Prince Harry's charity is suing him. On an Africa trip, the nosy, busybody Pope is here. Pope Leo will face debate over polygamy. His papacy has been defined largely by his response to President Trump's, but yeah, because he's sticking his nose in our business. We don't need an American Pope who interferes in American politics. He can piss off. This week, Pope Leo XIV will walk in the footsteps of his icon, St. Augustine of Hippo, a towering theologian whose birth in what is now Algeria makes him history's most revered African Catholic. In strife-ridden Cameroon and authoritarian Equatorial Guinea, Leo will flex his powers as peacemaker and diplomat. In oil-rich Angola, he will confront a microcosm of the global tussle between Catholicism and evangelical faiths. The Chicago-born pontiff is dealing with polygamy. Good luck with that. Africans love it. Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel will keep fighting Iranian regime and proxies. The IDF says it struck more than 200 Hezbollah targets in the past 24 hours. Israel and my leadership will continue to fight Iran's terror regime and its proxies, he said on Saturday. That doesn't bode well for Trump's ceasefire. 10 years, 10 presidents. Peru's leaders just don't last. Voters will try again. Elections today offer Peruvians another once-in-a-5-year chance to set the nation on a new path, but it looks like they won't do that. Interim President Jose Balcazar approval ratings are stuck in the mid-teens. Wow. Country is mired in a decade-long political crisis. In election today, Peruvians will choose a president who, upon inauguration in July, will become its 10th leader in 10 years. The last to complete a full term was Ollanta Humala in 2016. 3 resignations, 3 impeachments, and removal by censure. 6 presidents essentially have been charged with corruption. 3 have been convicted so far. Wow. Peru, not a place you want to be. Maple syrup, ladies and gentlemen. The maple syrup season closes on a sweet note, even though weather was a concern. Maple syrup producers in the Ottawa region say the season has turned out better than expected despite a rocky start and difficult weather conditions. Earl Stanley, owner of Stanley's Old Maple Lane Farms in Edwards, Ontario, said the year has been very average, even though the weather has been less than perfect. We want that freeze thaw. We had extreme warmth and growth, extreme cold in the same couple of days. Statistics Canada reports that Canadian maple syrup producers came up with 18.9 million gallons in 2025, down from the record high in 2024. Wow, that's a lot of maple syrup. North Korean leader Kim Il-jung is backing China's push for a multipolar world. Look at the chubby little boy right there, along with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un voiced support for China's push to build a multipolar world and called for deeper ties between the traditional allies during a meeting with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. Iran says no more talks. No more talks. Iran has balked. Iran said it has no plans for more nuclear talks with the U.S. after negotiations brokered by Pakistan broke down, but a foreign ministry spokesman said diplomacy would continue. No program has yet been announced for the time, place, or next round of negotiations. Vice President J.D. Vance headed back to the U.S. and said he made our final and best offer. We'll see if the Iranians accept it. And they've already rejected it. Iran has rejected that offer. They have no interest in peace. Trump, in response, has said that he will blockade the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump said the U.S. will blockade the Strait of Hormuz after talks to end the Iran war ended without a resolution. He also said the U.S. Navy will seek and interdict every vessel in international waters that has paid a toll to Iran. Iran is preparing to charge a toll on vessels seeking passage through the Strait, a move that invoked Trump's ire as Tehran tries to cement its grip on the 2-week ceasefire. Effective immediately, the United States Navy, the finest in the world, will begin the process of blockading any and all ships trying to enter or leave the Strait of Hormuz. The blockade will begin shortly. Other countries will be involved in this blockade. Iran will not be allowed to profit off this legal act of extortion. The announcement of the U.S. blockade of the Strait will likely scuttle any hopes that the war could end in the coming days. Trump said the U.S. blockade is an effort to stop Iran from policing the Strait and benefiting economically while the rest of the world suffers from its closure. At some point, we'll reach an all being allowed to go in, all being allowed to go out basis, but Iran has not allowed that to happen by merely saying there may be a mine out there somewhere that nobody knows about. This is world extortion, and leaders of countries, especially the United States, will never be extorted. Things are heating up again in the Gulf. In neighboring Iraq, they've elected a Kurdish politician as president. That's pretty wild. Iraq's parliament voted Saturday to elect Nizar Ahmadi, a political official with one of the country's 2 main Kurdish parties, as president 5 months after a parliamentary election that didn't produce a bloc with a decisive majority. His election comes as Iraq is reeling from the fall of the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran. Wow. So look at that. He secured 227 votes. His opponent got just 15. Wow. We have a Kurdish president of Iraq now. That's crazy. Vice President Vance says Iran has rejected U.S. peace terms after 21 hours negotiating in Pakistan. He said Iran hasn't clearly committed to forego nuclear weapons. We've been at it now for 21 hours, and we've had a number of substantive discussions. That's the good news. The bad news is that we have not reached an agreement, and I think that's bad news for Iran much more than it's bad news for the United States. He said the stumbling block has been Iran's refusal to commit to forego nuclear weapons. Iranian state media said the U.S. terms have been excessive. State media said Iran's nuclear rights control over the Strait of Hormuz were among the points of contention. Well, Iran will never be allowed to control the Strait of Hormuz. We will not allow that to happen. That violates international, the law of the sea and international agreements. That is not going to happen. Israel has booted Spain from the base monitoring the Gaza ceasefire. The leftist surrender monkeys who are surrendering their country to African illegal aliens and refuses to participate in global security has now been kicked out. Israel expelled Spanish representatives from multinational center coordinating the ceasefire in Gaza, with officials in Jerusalem citing anti-Israeli obsession of Prime Minister Pedro Dumbass Sanchez. Israeli Foreign Minister Bidon Sar announced on Friday that Spain won't be allowed to participate in the Civil Military Coordination Center in southern Israel's Kiryat Gat. Yeah, good. Kick them out. Spain is a pariah. The United States will no longer trade with Spain, according to President Trump. Don't really know how that unfolds. Hungary votes today, and Viktor Orban's 16 years as the head of Hungary is at risk. The parliamentary election could end its 16-year hold on power. Voting for the election opened at 6 a.m. local time and is due to close at 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Well, that would be now, or in 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, the voting closes. By 3 p.m., more than 65% of Hungary's 7.5 million voters had cast their ballots, up from 52% at the same time in the 2022 election. Opinion polls the past 2 weeks have suggested Orban's Fidesz party is trailing Peter Magyar's. That's what a good name for a Hungarian to have, Peter Magyar. That's Hungarian for Hungary, Magyar. Upstart center-right position. Tis a party by 79 percentage points. So Hungarians have grown increasingly weary of the 60-year-old Orban after 3 years of economic stagnation and soaring living costs. Wow. 16 years. That means he came into this in his 40s. Viktor Orban, 16 years. Well, maybe his time at the head of Hungary is over. We shall see. London police have arrested over 200 at a protest backing a Palestine Action group. Look at this lunatic. Police remove a protester against the ban on Palestine Action. London police arrested more than 200 people yesterday during a protest against a ban on the Palestine terrorism supporting group Palestine Action. Metro Police said they had arrested 212 protesters between the ages of 27 and 82. Hundreds gathered in Trafalgar Square to show their support for the group, with some holding signs reading, "I oppose genocide, I support Palestine Action." Well, you support terrorism, so piss off and be gone. Nobody wants to hear. Doesn't matter. Mr. Sergeant Duck, what are you doing? Why do you keep putting these comments in there? Control of the Strait of Hormuz and Iran's uranium stockpiles were the sticking points. U.S. demanded Iran immediately reopen the strait, but Iran said it would do so only after a final peace plan. Well, that ain't going to happen. So the destruction of Iran will recommence soon. U.S. Navy sending destroyers through the Strait of Hormuz with the aim to demine it. We're going to demine the strait now, finally. Navy sent 2 guided missile destroyers through the Straits of Hormuz as the first step in its plan to reopen the critical waterway to commercial ship traffic. Today, we begin the process of establishing a new passage, and we'll share the safe pathway with maritime industry soon to encourage the free flow of commerce. Strait of Hormuz, international sea passage, and a major export lane for petrochemicals. Trump says U.S. blockade after the talks fail. Trump will blockade the Strait of Hormuz now. The Pentagon has awarded a $4.7 billion contract for new Patriot missiles. Wow, we're trying to replenish stocks of missiles that have been drained by the conflict. The PAC-3 MSE is the Army's key land-based missile defense system. It uses high-to-kill interceptor technology. The Iran war has severely strained stockpiles of interceptor missiles used by Patriot batteries deployed in the Middle East in response to regional Iranian missile strikes. United Arab Emirates Defense Ministry reported earlier this month that Iran had launched 23 cruise missiles, 498 ballistic missiles, 2,141 drones at the UAE alone. Most of the missiles drones were knocked out before they could strike targets in cities like Abu Dhabi, Dubai, or Sharjah. President Trump said that Iran had fired more than 100 missiles at the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln. All the missiles were stopped. Wow. This is crazy. The FY 2027 defense budget request calls for 3,200 of these missiles. That's a lot of money, $4.7 billion. Well, judges fired after blocking deportations of pro-Palestinian students. The immigration judge's abrupt dismissals marked the latest efforts by the Trump administration to reshape the country's immigration courts. Trump administration has fired 2 immigration judges who dismissed high-profile deportation cases. The firings of judges Rupal Patel and Nina Froese marked the latest efforts by the Trump administration to reshape the country's immigration courts. The administration dismissed dozens of immigration judges, and according to those who are on the bench, has put judges under pressure to deny asylum cases and order deportations. That's interesting to me that they're saying that they put them under pressure when already 95% or more of asylum cases are denied. So what do you mean under pressure? The denial rate is incredibly high. I don't understand this story. It doesn't make any sense. Well, Trump's ballroom for the White House will continue for now, according to the Washington Times. A federal court of appeals is allowing construction to proceed for President Trump's $400 million White House ballroom, temporarily extending lower court order. U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia ruled Saturday that construction on the project can continue until Friday. Until Friday? What the hell? What the hell? Lower court's March 31st ruling barred work proceeding without approval from Congress. Yeah, but that was overturned. Well, these people try to stop the improvement of the White House. Well, speaking of somebody that will never see the White House again, Mr. Sexual Abuse accused, Eric Swalwell. Fang Fang! Fang Fang! Manhattan prosecutor investigates abuse claims against Fang Fang Swalwell. Fang Fang. Manhattan District Attorney's Office said has launched an investigation of sexual misconduct allegations against U.S. Congressman Eric Swalwell. 4 women have accused him of misconduct ranging from sexual harassment to rape, including alleged incident in New York. Swalwell, leading contender for California's gubernatorial race, denies the claims, vowing to defend himself with facts. With facts. Well, Swalwell is in the crap now. Debbie Fox, thank you for the 50 Rand super chat. Appreciate that. Wow. Wow. StubHub to pay $10 million. Yes, the ticketing place. To settle a Federal Trade Commission charges of alleged deceptive ticket pricing. Yeah, they are deceptive. They allegedly failed to disclose the total price of tickets, thereby violating agency regulations. Well, where's my money? $10 million. I've been cheated out of hundreds of dollars by these scumbags. They sold more than 40 million tickets in 2024. It's based in New York, reported $9 billion in gross merchandise sales, with revenues totaling $1.7 billion and net loss of $1.9 billion. Assets worth $5 billion. According to FTC, after a deceptive fees rule went into effect in May 25, StubHub allegedly advertised ticket price without fully disclosing the total price they paid before, not including mandatory fees. Yeah, I know. I get a ticket price and then I get a credit card charge. It was more. What the hell? I want my money back. Eric Adams, the erstwhile former failed mayor of Gotham City, is now an honorary citizen of Albania. Eric Adams, former international mayor of New York City, becomes an honorary Albanian. Never trust a man with an earring. I'm sorry, unless he's a pirate. Former New York City Mayor Eric Adams announced Friday that he had become a citizen of Albania. Adams, a demon rat, received the honorary citizenship at his request. The decision of Republic of Albania to grant Mayor Adams citizenship reflects an enduring relationship and mutual respect. Strengthens the bonds between New York and Albania. They have bonds? Ah, my goodness. When I retire from government, I'm going to live in Baku, he told Brooklyn Borough President. Oh, he was then Brooklyn Borough President at an event in 2018 to the Azerbaijani community. The guy's a pander of note. A federal court has struck down a 158-year-old ban on home distilling. Woo! Let's get liquored up. The Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals Friday ruled that a Reconstruction-era prohibition on home distilling exceeds Congress's taxing power. Writing for the 3-judge panel in McNutt versus Department of Justice, Circuit Judge Edith Holland Jones found that the ban actually reduced tax revenue by preventing distilling in the first place, the opposite of its stated intent. The court ruled in favor of the nonprofit Hobby Distillers Association and 4 of its 1,300 members who argued that people should be free to distill spirits at home, whether it's a hobby or for personal consumption, including, for instance, to create an apple pie vodka recipe one of the plaintiffs created. The ban was part of Reconstruction in July 1868, imposed an excise tax on distilled spirits, but also made it illegal for a person to use any still, boiler, or other vessel for the purpose of distilling, and when the still was located, among other places, in any dwelling house, in any shed, yard, or enclosure connected to any dwelling house. Wow, this case began in 2023. It's good news for boozers. Now you can distill your own spirits. Woohoo! It's time for moonshine, baby. We'll make some shine. It's time for shine. Yeah, now refugees can make mumpor. Yes, the rat's jumping the ship, Eric Adams. What is linked to the stock market, Cranberry? All right, that's the news for today. Uganda is meeting Israel and have offered military assistance. Yeah, well, that's Karingira. That's Museveni's crazy son, whom I actually know personally. Big thunderstorms in Pretoria, says Vanessa Blossom. Okay. Kurds can stabilize between. Maybe that would be interesting, wouldn't it, Vanessa? Botswana ship couldn't go through the Strait. What Botswana ship? Okay, gay or straight, at the end, it doesn't matter because we were being pinned against. What's gay got to do with anything? Who's talking about gay? Ron said they will allow U.S. South African ships pass. Yeah, that was a while ago. That's been overcome by events. The current situation, Strait of Hormuz, won't last forever. This too shall pass. Correct, Vanna, won't last long. Private sector must be helping tons. Yep. President Trump plays chess with these people. Thank you, Simmery, for your membership. 8 months now. Epstein files, we can clearly see it's left or right. It's right or wrong. There's a demonic agenda in this world. Okay, where's the Epstein files coming from again? Mr. Sarduck, I'm going to caution you once again. These are non sequiturs unrelated to the conversation. If you want to have a chat with people to express your views, then create your own channel and chat with people or broadcast to them. If you want to stick to the topics at hand, that's fine. Or you have breaking news that we don't know about, that's fine. But these non sequiturs are getting quite annoying. What's your opinion on President Trump's move to block the Strait? Well, the consequence will be the Europeans are going to be angry. I don't really care because they haven't done anything to protect their own supply chain. The consequence will be that Iran will not get any money and they'll die on the vine. Yeah, I don't know if they're trying to stretch out congressional approval. I think, as I said before, Trump is going to use the post 9/11 congressional authority, and he's going to argue that he has authority because Iran is a state sponsor of terror, and that was an authorization to fight the war on terror. And that's what I think he's going to do, which would get him past the 60 days. So, and then they'll take it to court. They'll fight about it. By the time it's all over, the campaign will be over. I feel sorry for people, but I don't trust politicians, says Heinrich. Well, I get that. Loretta doesn't like maple syrup. I love maple syrup. We need a maple syrup song. Maple syrup, okay. Maple syrup song. I haven't thought about that one yet. A maple syrup song, okay. Yaku Swart says Freedom Front Plus, okay. Opportunistic aggressor and Nako fell for it by the sounds of things, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, back to the Springbok. Think you're right, Heidi. Think you're right. Ongiditsamane says, Chris, would you say that Hillis is a centrist? No, he's not a centrist. He's not, and it's not a centrist party. The Democratic Alliance is left of center. They are leftist. They like state control. They like welfare. They like the gay community. Not that conservatives hate the gay community, but we don't make it a platform upon which we try to interact with people. We let people be who they are. We don't interact. We don't push items that have no relevance. But the DA is a left of center party. That's who they are. They don't have any problem with parastatals. They just don't want the ANC to run them. They want to run them. That's who the DA is. That is in their DNA. And Jordan Hill Lewis is very much left of center woke. He is not a centrist. That's poppycock, if anyone said that. Kapstat says Yaku. Okay, sorry to hear that. Okay. Very true, Coco. I don't remember what happened to. Okay. Because the political parties threaten to take private property, why should anyone invest here? Exactly. I had high hopes for the GNU and breaking ANC but I didn't see foreseen. Well, Leona Watley, I didn't have any high hopes for the GNU, and I said it from the outset. Although I said it was the best outcome, but that was ANC and DA, not 8 other parties. I said from the outset that the DA, and see, you know why they did that? Let me explain to you why the ANC did that. Number one, it prevented a revolt within their own base. They said, well, we just have to ally with the DA. But look, we actually care about these other parties. We're in charge. It watered down the DA's influence. If it had just been the ANC and DA, there's no way the government could have survived with the DA getting 6 ministerial positions and nothing of consequence. The DA negotiated like 6-year-olds. And I've said from the outset, from when this coalition was announced, that it's untenable, that it's not going to improve South Africa because the DA has no influence. Finance, defense, intelligence, military, police, vice president, foreign policy. Not one of those things, the most important aspects of governance in South African national level, falls under DA purview. Not one. Not one. And they're not even involved in the feds. There, it's the UDM leader, Mangosuthu Buthelezi. Buthelezi, excuse me. Bantu Holomisa. Bantu Holomisa, yeah. It'd be a good one for Buthelezi to do it from the grave. But it's Holomisa. So the DA has no influence whatsoever. They only got, inept departments that they need to fix. So no, I've never saw any prospects. And what have we seen? Basic Education Laws Amendment, the imposition of a colonial use of English, forcing South African children to learn the colonial language, putting them at a disadvantage. We saw the implementation of the Basic Education Laws Amendment, the implementation of the expropriation without compensation, the theft of property from lawful owners. This is a violation of basic human rights, a violation of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which South Africa is signatory to, a violation of Section 25 of South Africa's Constitution, and is a morally repugnant situation. And it is the reason why aid ended to South Africa and why South Africa is in a crapper now vis-a-vis the United States, because of that bullshit. And what else we got from the government national unity? Well, National Health Insurance, the Employment Equity Act Amendment, which means that no more than 4% of white males can serve in upper management. This racism and bigotry this is what we got from the GNU. I never had any hope for the DA because they negotiated and they lost. They were outsmarted by the likes of Fikile Mbalula. How stupid do you have to be out negotiated by Fikile Mbalula? The guy can't walk and chew gum simultaneously. Reserve my comments on Lewis. Look at the hype when CR was elected. Yes, Fonz. Well, they can hype him all they want. He's left of center. I wish him well. I hope he does well. Hope he becomes more of a pragmatist, but I don't hold my breath on that. Okay. Wish the Cape would become independent, says Cranberry. Well, I can understand that. Most people in South Africa hear the word party and think free free drinks. Mayor by day and leader does not bode well. Nope, you're right. Future looks bright. Doesn't bode well at all. He can't do both jobs. He has a conflict of interest, just like John Steenhuisen. That was the other reason why I said that the government national will never work. John Steenhuisen has a clear conflict of interest. How can you be owing loyalty and fealty to the person who appointed you as the white minister of agriculture, to the man whose testicles you lick all day, Cyril Ramaphosa, and at the same time be loyal to your constituents who voted for policies that are diametrically opposed to what Ramaphosa and the ANC want? You can't do both. And we see the outcome. Not only could he not do both, John Steenhuisen could do neither. He could do neither. He couldn't be the leader. He couldn't be the agriculture minister. He couldn't pull either one of them off. Look at the response to foot and mouth disease. What a total disaster. Devastating South Africa's agriculture. And I said he never should do it. And also, by the way, in full disclosure, I said Peter Groenewald should not be the leader of the party and a minister. Although the Freedom from Plus is much smaller, structures are easier to manage, and it worked. And then he didn't stand for re-election, which was a smart move. Let Corny Mulder take over. Mr. Sergeant Duck loves bacon. Well, that's nice. What does that have to do with anything? Dude, you are really pushing for a ban on this channel. Apparently, Dudela is continuing this week in East London. Oh, great. DA doesn't even control those departments. Exactly. All the ones who are in charge are not in control. Yeah, well, look at education. Siviwe Garuba. Gate McKenzie says he's joined the EFF and MK coalition. There is no EFF and MK coalition. What are you talking about? There's no coalition with the EFF and MK. What are you talking about, Coco? It is a so-called new mafia running Western Cape, forcing school parents to pay protection events. I'm not surprised. Oh my goodness, Mr. Sergeant Duck, I just saw another one you did. You know what? If you make another comment, you're getting a timeout, and you're going to wind up getting banned from this channel. What is your problem? What is your major malfunction? You've been tolerated for too long. That's your final warning. Moderators, next stupid ass comment that comes from that guy, just remove that guy. All throughout my news, you've been an asshole putting unrelated stuff in the comments. Unrelated to anything. Just being an ass. You're an attention seeker. Stop it. You got it, and now you got our attention. Now you're going to wind up getting banned. Why reaching out to non-voters when their current voters are leaving? Well, that's a good point, Renee. How about you retain your voters you've got now? That's a good point. Yeah, Phoenix says might want to focus on all the voters leaving. You will have to inherit a credit card. Who else is going to pay it off? Cena hasn't got a job at Uber Eats. You guys are... There never is a plan. Same crap every day. DA Rudder was broken years ago. Jordan Hill Lewis inherited the best run metro in the country and has never had to work in coalitions. He's in for a rough ride. Well, not only that, the best run metro in the country that has gone downhill for the past 3 years. Hasn't gone anywhere. It's gone downhill. We stand for... here he is again. Thank you for the super chat, Ben. All right, what else we got here? Very nice man, Sipo. Okay. Looks like a younger Steenhuisen. All right, now I've caught up on the chat. Cool. They lost a load of paying members and voters since joining the GNU, unpopular pet projects, and failing in Bella Bella. Yep. My next vote will go for Republicans. I've really fought really hard for South Africa. I'm standing with the USA. Hey, Vanner. Whoops, somebody's chat just disappeared. Hey, Botman, what's going on, man? Blood will run before the truth is told, says Or. Possibly. Just me. It's sad to see how some of you are still trying your best to bash DA, but then again, everybody's entitled to opinion. Despite the negative reporting, the DA is still growing. Show me how it's growing, Just me. Where's your evidence? Which by-elections has the DA won recently? Are you going by polls from the Social Research Foundation? Is that what you're going with? I know Franz Cronje. I've interviewed him. Is that what you're talking about? Is that where it's growing? It's growing. How's it growing? Also, again, not to beat up on Geordin Hill-Lewis. I don't have anything against him. I've actually met him, got a photograph with Geordin Hill-Lewis. But what in that is an actual plan of action? Please tell me. That's not a plan. Those are aspirational goals. But thank you for sticking around, Just Me, even though you're swinging upstream. DA short-sided themselves during negotiations. Perhaps they were starstruck. Cannot believe they've been in the government. Yep. So I want to ask this question because Just Me, then don't be beating up on Just Me, okay? Don't be attacking Just Me. All right? All right, Botman. Did you get my last message about my discussion with the director at Botman? Anyway, I sent you a voice note yesterday when I was traveling to see Varoshka. So, okay, Just Me, I'm not trying to be combative with you. Just being objective here. What did I say that's not true? Did the DA not enter a negotiation to form a coalition with the ANC and thought they had a coalition of two parties? And then did the ANC not go behind their back and offer access to the government national unity without their approval? Did that not happen? Did I miss that? Did the DA get finance, foreign affairs, intelligence, military, vice president, police? Did they get any of those ministries? What did they get? Forestries, education, home affairs, two of which are completely broken, and they get to clean up the mess. But they're just implementing what the ANC tells them to do. Did I miss something there? I'm Just Me. I'm not trying to be combative, and no one better attack Just Me. I want Just Me's feedback. I mean, look, if people want to be pro-DA and vote for the DA, fine. Vote for whatever party you want. You should vote for whatever party you want. But I'm asking the question, are they not? Where are those lines in the sand that John Steenhuisen drew for the DA? No Bella, no EWC, no Employment Equity Act. All of those have been passed. Chris says, in the past year, DA's lost seat to PA and surprisingly MK and Western Cape. Yeah, exactly. They lost a by-election in the Western Cape to Umkhonto we Sizwe, which has no strength in the Western Cape whatsoever. How the hell do you lose a seat? How do you lose a seat to the MK party in the Western Cape? I don't understand that. Not to mention all the own goals. Roman Kabanek, that's John Steenhuisen's personal failure. Ronaldo Choz, that's the DA violating its own constitution. You can't trust a party that can't even follow their own constitution. Emma Powell, Andrew Whitfield, two of the shining lights, honest, moral, dedicated people. Slightly left of center, but good people. Treated like shit by Steenhuisen and the federal executive. They sent them to Israel. They sent them to America. And then they shit all over them and discharge them. How can you trust a party like that? Please tell me what I've got wrong in my facts here. I'm happy to listen. I'm happy to listen. Somebody please tell me what I got wrong. Just me, anybody. What did I just relate, did I get wrong? I'm happy to listen. And look, I'm going to reach out to the DA, to Helen, one more time and offer a chance for her to come on. I'm going to reach to Celios Brink, who I know personally. I'm going to ask him to come on because he got elected, and he'll treat him fairly. Maybe I'll do it offline so y'all can't comment and say nasty things during the interview. But Celios Brink, I'm going to ask him if we can do an interview. I want to congratulate him. People that vote for the DA will be voting for the Democratic Party for the U.S. That's true. How trustworthy is his business tech news? Pretty trustworthy. Pretty trustworthy. Let me see what you sent me, Loretta. Business tech is pretty good. They get a few things wrong, but they actually do journalism and not just sensationalism. So let me see. Okay, let me see what that came up here. All right, let me take a look at these articles. New mafia taking hold in the best-run province. Criminal mafia groups are increasingly targeting Western Cape. Auditor General's consolidated report. Schools paper. No, this is legitimate. I mean, they've cited real sources here, so that's legitimate. Yep, that story is legit. And the high-speed bullet train. Let's read that one. The Cyril Ramaphosa says the government's pressing through with plans. That doesn't mean anything. His plans mean nothing. And nothing that Cyril Ramaphosa ever promises come true. Nothing. Nothing. Yaku Basson says, what I got wrong was nothing. Okay. Got Courtney Muller's letter after DA Congress, but read it all. You'll see the difference between the DA and Freedom Plus. Is it on X? Rita Russo, is it on X? Heidi's like arguing with the Democrat. No, but I'm asking. Just Me is here, and I said don't beat up on Just Me, but I'm getting no pushback. Pat says, apologies, but the DA has proved its own stance. Before foot and mouth disease, the bills they were heavy against got implemented with the DA ministers. Cherry on the top, John Steenhuisen sunk the reputation of the Oval Office. Yep. If the DA loses in Cape Town, well, the mayor of Cape Town is Jordan Hill Lewis, so he won't be the mayor anymore. How did the DA lose a seat to MK, which ANC held before, and not the DA? Huh? Botman, thank you for membership. No, it was reported in the press that one of the DA dropped and MK won that seat. There's another one that wasn't ANC. The ANC has also lost seats to MK. They've also lost seats in the Western Cape to MK. So, well, Cape Town's already starting to look like Joburg, Jim Blake. Last time I was there a year ago, it was already starting to look like Cape Town. Already starting to look like Joburg. Yep. Elon Musk says Starlink was offered a pretend black owner bribe to launch South Africa. I didn't see that, but I did see his tweet. Let me try my broadband, okay? Of course. So it's great that he's finally exposing the corruption in South Africa. On their WhatsApp channel. Okay. All right, I'll have to check their media stuff. Okay, there it is. There it is. Elon Musk says Starlink. Okay, got it. Thank you for that. I'll do a video on this. I'm not sure how soon I'll get to it, but I'll do a video on this and talk about this. I mean, because this confirms what we've been saying all along. Elon Musk has alleged his satellite internet company Starlink was given an opportunity to bribe its way into telecom's license, pretending a black person ran the company's local entity. In an X post on Sunday, which pinned to the top of his profile, well, that's the one I saw. World's richest man again argued the main reason Starlink could not launch that he was not black. South Africa won't allow Starlink to be licensed, even though I was born there, simply because I'm not black. We were offered many times the opportunity to bribe our way. Oh, I did see that. Into a license by pretending that a black guy runs Starlink, but I've refused to do so in principle. Musk said that racism should not be rewarded, regardless of which race it's applied to. Shame on the racist politicians in South Africa. Yep. Yep. There you go. So, like I said, I did come across that his post. Let me find it really quickly from X. Okay. Oh, where the hell am I at here? Oh, by the way, I did finish my taxes, guys. Yee-hoo! Finished my taxes today, and I don't owe, but boy, I paid a much higher tax rate. All these tax cuts we supposedly got, I didn't get them. I paid more, much higher. I paid more in taxes last year than I made in the first, I don't know, 12, 15 years I worked in my life. And I'm not even rich. I don't make a lot of money. It's just how high the taxes are. So here is the Elon Musk tweet. South Africa won't allow Starlink to be licensed, even though I was born there, simply because I'm not black. Yep. Yep, there you go. Yep. Yep. Musk is right to fight the racism. You shouldn't tolerate it. Cape Town is going to be worse before it will get better. Country is going to hit rock bottom, says Sumari. Despite what happens for the upcoming municipal elections, one fact remains: the chance of things getting better is close to zero. That's a good statement. Okay. The seat to the MK1 was held by the ANC, not the A, the only one ward, Western Cape. All right, Chris, I'll stand on correction. And the media falsely reported that then. All right. I didn't count the votes, so I went on media reports. So you're saying, all right, well, but what about the PA? What about the PA? Have they not lost to the PA? It's right on 45 plus. Okay. Yeah, the DA is at risk of losing the majority in Cape Town. SAP's investigating kidnapping of young white woman by 2 black men. Where are you finding that at, Neff? Yeah, now I can take a break from taxes for another year. Yeah, good thing I started in December. I never would have finished. I get a return from, I paid twice as much to the state than I needed to. And I didn't pay twice as much to the federal government, but I paid the federal government a lot of money. Just want to thank you, Chris, and the age of Blessed American stands for. You're welcome. Hey, Steon, what's going on? James doesn't get excited about anything in South Africa. All right, let me just check and make sure something's actually happening here that is supposed to be happening right now. Okay, Ronaldo's supposed to be on now. He's got a few people waiting for it. Okay, I'm just checking to see if he's on. I'd be very interested to know what you think South Africa will look like in 5 years' time. Look, Snippets, that's a tough one to predict. I mean, I made predictions several times over the past 20 years, and I've been correct by and large on most of those predictions about the future of South Africa. At this point, it's very difficult to say. But there's a lot of possibilities. Civil war. Yep. Total collapse. Both of those are not far-fetched, but they're not likely. More of the South Africa will continue to collapse, and all this stuff will be stolen, and nothing will come. No one will be punished. No, people are welcome to defend the DA here if they want, Henry. It's fine. Everyone's welcome to their opinion as long as their opinion is legitimate. They're not abusive. Boy. Ireland. Oh, yeah, I didn't talk about Ireland today. Let's go check on the Ireland, because Ireland, I took over a lot yesterday, so let's go in Ireland. Ireland protests. Okay, here we go. Irish police clear protesters from sites in Dublin and Galway. All right, well, at least they got the police to do it, not the military. They had the military out there threatening them. It's being reported all over. This was not reported for the first few days, but now everyone's reporting it, even the BBC. Even the BBC's reporting. You know, when the BBC reports something, there must be something finally happening. Sharon, you can ask a question. Go ahead. Please clear Irish fuel protesters from several locations. Fuel protests have been removed from a number of sites in Republic of Ireland by police, including O'Connell Street in Dublin, the M50 motorway near the city, and from Galway Port. Protesters were still blocking the N1 southbound near Dundalk. Yep. Shortly after 3:30 in the morning, the Garda, or Garda as they say, asked people inside tractor trailers on O'Connell Street to leave the area, all of whom did so peacefully. 200 uniformed cops, public order unit, mounted unit surround O'Connell Street while its water unit patrolled the river Liffey below, and a Garda helicopter flew overhead. Irish police cleared Dublin blockade staged by fuel price protesters. Hundreds of officers deployed to regain control of O'Connell Street on the 6th day of protest. Emergency cabinet was expecting to approve measures to reduce fuel costs and resolve a political crisis. Irish police cleared demonstrations to reopen. Okay, she asked if she could ask a question. All right, Mad Max sent me a couple messages. A friend of mine shared about kidnapping crime update. Okay, thank you. No, lots of white women are captured and then abused and assaulted and murdered in South Africa. It happens. Irish police clear fuel protesters from central Dublin after days of gridlock. Protesters angered by more than 20% rise in diesel prices. A 20% rise in diesel prices, and this is what they're protesting. Joe Biden came in office. The price of oil was $52 a barrel. Within a short order, it was $126 a barrel under Joe Biden's regime. A 120% increase. And the cost of petrol and diesel also increased by the commensurate amount. Price of fuel has risen only 20%. And these people are in the streets complaining? Seriously? This is manufactured outrage. This is manufactured outrage. I think El Marie's asking Veroshka how her first couple days in the USA were. Veroshka, do you want to answer that question? My friend did send you an email. Please, can you check for Abraham van der Westhuizen? Okay. Abraham van der Westhuizen. No, nothing. 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 I have nothing from anyone named Abraham from the Westhuizen. Unless Google doesn't do a good search. He's thinking shit when Zoom became president. Yep, that's right. When Zoom became president, it was all over. You're welcome, Joey. I'm failing at life. Just choked my own space. James, I'm sorry to hear that. Where did that go? She just sent me that. Hiroshika says it was brilliant. Okay. Re-interview with USCS. Okay. Neff, I don't know what to tell you. Your kids are normally supposed to go, so I don't know. There's Abraham Funda. Yeah, I've got nothing. Nothing. No such thing. Wow, lots of people asking for Anne's email address. That all came in earlier. When was this email supposedly sent? Sharon, when was this email sent? There's nothing here. Nothing. I can find nothing. Charles, I got somebody that wants to be... Is Charles Van Onselen in the chat? I didn't see this mess. This is from 3 days ago. Charles Van Onselen, are you still in the chat? Are you here? Jacques, wait a second. You have lyrics or you have a song? I thought you had a song, not lyrics. I asked you to send it to me. Okay. Well, Boatman, you're not going to live with me. Okay, you're not living with me. Let's get that clear. I'm not offering for you to live with me. That's not possible. I'm offering to try to help you get out of there, which I don't do for anyone else. Yeah. What's at 8 p.m.? Anyway, back to Sharon. I don't see anything from him. Yeah, Sharon, I see nothing from Abraham Fundavest. I search for that term. I just search for Abraham. Nothing comes up. Yes, I do get a lot of email, but you got to give me a search item that comes up. That didn't come up. I have a link to a song, but cannot download it. And I sent you lyrics. Okay, well, that's strange. I'm confused. Okay, I'll try to get to what I can. Oh, Joe Texas watching a bit cool. RVC's got a coffee cup going there. I thought it was old news, but Daily Investor reported yesterday the so-called expats. Daily Investor? Okay, let's go to that. Okay. DailyInvestor.com. Hope that's .com. Can't remember. Daily Investor. Finance Minister Enoch Gondwana snubbed by the United States. Okay, so what's that story? You have to pay to download the song. Well, it's not my song. Okay, what is that story on Daily Investor? I'm on Daily Investor, but I need something to search here. You got to give me a search term. Abraham Fundavest, I was told you sent me an email. I see no email. I don't know who you sent it to. Sorry, I'm adjusting my shorts here. People wonder what I'm doing. I have nothing from anyone named Abraham. Is Charles Van Olsen here? Did he respond? Oh, he is. Hey, Charles, can I give your contact to someone that might be able to help you through passport? They claim they can help you with passport. Or I'll give you their information, Charles. I'll just do that. All right, so let's do that. I'll give it to you. Okay? All right, here. All right, let me just send it to Charles this way. Don't worry about Charles. I'll just send it in WhatsApp, okay? All right, there you go. So I've sent you that. I'll also send you the email address here in a second. Oh, I know who that is now. Okay. All right, see, that helps when I see the email address. Okay, so Charles, I've sent you that information. If you want to reach out to that person, that's up to you. Okay. Okay, so Charles, I've sent you that now. Again, I see nothing. Let me go back to the beginning here. Oh. Okay. I'm surprised he was snubbed. Other African countries paying off their debt to World Bank. So they're just asking for more money. Yep. South Africa. Okay, thank you. That's what I needed. South African expats. Okay, thank you very much. South African expats. Okay, thank you for that. That makes it easier to find, hopefully. There it is, April 11th. Okay, let me just try to see if I can dissect this. Okay, there's been an uptick in reverse immigration as more and more citizens living abroad are deciding to move back to the country. Okay, report shows 30% of citizens some interest. Very simple. Professionals protect your money returning home. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that story. That's true. It's true. These are expats, and it's not the refugees. So, hey, Carl's here. What's up, Carl? People going to Dallas. Apologies if you covered this already, but have you seen the op-ed by John Brioche at the Times? No, I didn't. I did see something about John Brioche. I saved it. Maybe that's the one I saw. At the Times Live? Is that the one you want? John Brioche? Why is it not showing my account? Okay. Search. Let's look for Brioche. Okay. Where's that at? There it is down here. That might be one. Nope, that's not the one I found. Okay. John Brioche. Yeah, that's that's the one that's in the Times Live. I saw that on the conversation, and I talked about it. I said I was going to reach out to that guy because he's full of crap. Okay, so I covered this. Let me thank you. I didn't know it appeared in South African press. I haven't seen my brother. My brother shows up when he wants something. He wanted to promote his channel, and that's why he came here, and he promoted his channel, and that's fine. Yep, so. It's still really go bad. Saw that mine. Some just keep mine expats. Truly didn't witness the mine. I saw that. No, they didn't. So they're going to come back and be shocked once they get back to South Africa. Yeah, so this story, I know about this story. I talked about this the other day. I planned to make a video, but it came out a couple days ago when I was working. This came out. What day was this came out? It doesn't have the date on here. It came out a few days back. So if it just made it South African Press, it just made it there. But this, so I looked this guy up. He teaches at Case Western, and he's full of crap. He's obsessed with racism. He's a white guy that's obsessed with racism. So he told whiteness appears official immigration policy. What he goes down here is he lies about things because he's not well informed. What does he say here? He says, first off, he talks about genocide. He misstates that. And that's not what the basis of this is. He talks about useful fiction of genocide. But that is not why. I got to go back and reread this thing. But he talks about Canada and New Zealand and everything on and on and on here. Whiteness is proof of citizenship. This is all just hatred of white people. He's a self-loathing white man who can't deal with reality. And that's the problem. So his real issue here is he talks about genocide. But again, genocide is not the basis for refugee status. It isn't. Not for South Africans. It never has been. Message you chat every now and then and maybe twice per live. The way people come in will also see it. What message are you talking about, Dartik? What message? Two families came back to retire. They can isolate themselves from most issues. We still live like kings. I'm not sure. I'll do that when I reach that stage. Okay. How many soldiers have been killed in Western Cape so far, gangs? I haven't heard of any soldiers being killed. That's the first I heard of that. Army Navy also offer auxiliary forces, only Air Force for the children to join. There's no auxiliary force for any service. If you're talking about the Civil Air Patrol, it's not an Air Force thing. It's a search and rescue organization. Yeah. So and disaster response. Let me see if he's up now. Just want to check. Okay. See if he's live now. He is live. Okay, he's got 116 there. So, all right. Okay, Debbie's over there. Debbie's over there, but not here. Okay, Civil Air Patrol. It's not. It's an auxiliary of the Air Force, but it's not an Air Force. It doesn't get mobilized. It's not like a traditional auxiliary. It's in support, but it's not really in support of the Air Force. They just shepherd it because they do search and rescue. Saves the Air Force from doing it. You guys are welcome. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up here. We've got the refugee chat coming up in an hour and 15 minutes. Cafe Clutch is early because I've got a meeting with the owner of Marble Life, trying to find jobs for South Africa. Jean Bobby Jean missed a stream or two, but have you seen the Shelly video where someone is grifting featuring you? No. Did she? Okay, hang on. Before I go anywhere, did she make a video saying someone that's grifting, trying to? Did she say someone's trying to use us for memberships, or accusing us of grifting? I'm not asking for members. In fact, I tell people not to become members. Jean Bobby Jean, please clarify that. Now I'm curious before I go anywhere. I need to know what's the deal. What are you talking about? I don't watch her videos. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for any videos really. So Jean Bobby Jean, please explain what you're talking about. A video where someone is grifting featuring. I don't know what that's about. Again, I've had to make videos periodically about frauds, about people trying to steal identities and warn people. God, my back is killing me today. Yep. Who's the worst of the worst, Lester Canal? Who's the worst of the worst? Stan, probably not. I'm busy working. We probably won't talk. Send me a message. Missed a call from a person who took me to collect. Kara needs a ride from Glen Anil to collect that. All right, I'm waiting for Jean Bobby Jean to explain, because I don't know what that's about. Why didn't you tell me that sooner, so rather than we wait till we're time to leave? What is Tika talking about? Something's been warning groups. Conditional. Oh yeah. That's, you can post that. You can post that in every stream, Tika. That's what I've been saying all along. All along. Lou WhatsApp me info. What info are you talking about? Hey Snap. Lou. Okay. What are we talking about here? You guys are killing me here. Okay. Okay. I don't see anything from me so far. Oh no, someone just... Okay, well, why would she put the pound sign for me there? Yeah, I don't see where that's grifting off me. Oh, here's a link. What's this? Okay, I don't know who the person is. Okay. Yeah, I don't see that that's bad, but once again, people should reach out to me, not just do stuff. That's not cool, because then you get charged, you get accused of doing things. So, what is Villy complaining about? You do not see me looking at a thank you for the James for the 14 rand. We pled not guilty in the theft case. They've got them on video. It's funny. The daughter and infant went to local pharmacy. Both have infection. Remember I mentioned she was ill. Medicine can be expensive, yes. Okay, I don't see anybody named Villy here. So first off, I'm not ignoring anybody named Villy because there's no Villy in my chat. Well, what are her posts? Again, I didn't endorse this. See, this is the problem when if you all have good intentions, you can't be using my name, Professor G's name, and going out there and creating stuff. We didn't authorize this. Yeah. No, Lauren Clegg, I don't need a PA. I just need YouTube to take the shackles off of my channel. Okay. I see nothing from anybody named Villy. What am I missing? Who said that oh, there's Villy. I'm not ignoring Mad Max. I already read Mad Max's comment twice. I see you now, Billy. Billy 1986, but you weren't there before. Snab says hello. How are you? I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry. Only certain members go WhatsApp. No, I don't want anybody WhatsApping me. my WhatsApp gets shut down all the time. It gets shut down. I read a message from Mad Max earlier, Billy. No, it's no. Again, the method to get a hold of me is email. Write me an email. There's the email right there. Thanks to Chris Wyatt. Send me an email, and that's how you get a hold of me. Okay, she's warning about scams, but she's not accusing me or Professor G of scams, correct? If she's not accusing us, then she's doing a public service, because neither one of us are scamming anybody. Okay, Zanis, you're welcome for the news. Okay, let me go back and see what Mad Max wrote that they're all worried about. Yeah, Mad Max says I missed chats. Okay, and then new regulation will kill Joko all around dams. Okay, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one you're talking about. Okay. Oh, it's from the DA. I'll have to look at it later on. That's going to take some time to consume that. Okay, okay, got it. I think we're tracking now. So they pled not guilty. Hashtag links her post to your name. Oh, I see your point, Chugsy. I see your point. Is that how that works? Huh. Good point. All right. Well, if she's doing it, Sharon. Okay, I still don't see the Abraham email. Is Abraham sending me an email? I'll go back and check my account one time before I leave here. No. I just reload. There's nothing there. Nothing there. So I'm trying to respond. Oh, my TSP statement's available. Haha. Let's check on that before I go anywhere. Why is this not opening? Is it not from TSP? It is from TSP, but that link doesn't work. Interesting. New tab. TSP. Log in. Oh, boy. This is my retirement account that I set up with the military that was separate from the military retirement while I was still in, while they allowed you to do this. Let me see if I got a statement here. Okay. Well, year-to-date return is not impressive. My return last year was very good, though. Where are the statements at? Documents. There we go. I'll download my document. There it is. That's the one they said was there. I'll be darned. Okay, cool. April 2026. Print that. Okay. All right. Well, I still don't see anything from Abraham. Nothing there. Sorry. So I really can't help without an email. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Is it correct to say that all blue names are moderators? Yeah, I guess so. The way they change stuff around. If they're blue names, they're moderators. That's, yeah, I guess I noticed that. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, guys. You'll be directed to Ronaldo. If you want to catch that in an hour from now, we'll have the Cafe Clutch. All right? See you there. Thanks for being here. Be sure to hit the like button. How are we doing likes? We got 326. Not bad. All right, thanks, everybody. Clear. Cheers.